arrives just in time to sample Zia's famous cooking. He wolfs down too much too fast, and it all goes to his head. I've said a lot about the kid, but he ain't the only one wrapped up in all this. What's he thinking? Well, let me see if I got this straight. I only heard it once. There was a normal Ura girl, but she wasn't born in the tasseled terminals like the rest of her people. She was from Ceylondia. Her folks were orphaned in the war, taken in and raised inside the city, on condition they would never return to the terminals. Ura refugees who came into the city had to stay for life. It was a way to reduce the risk of city secrets leaking out. Passed away from birthing complications, leaving the girl trapped inside that city with no one but her father. Was sharper than a brusher's pike, so he got a job working for the city's mancers. His daughter barely saw him. Father told her nothing of her Ura heritage. He told her nothing of the Mancers. It's for your own good, he said. She took to studying the arts, learned more through music than history books, gained a knack for strings and songs. first she tried to be like other girls, but her classmates spread word that her father was an Ura trader, selling out the city. One young man stood up for her, or so he led her to believe. He knew much of her heritage, and she grew fond of him. Take him to a family den to meet her father. Spoke of how he wanted to meet a man from the terminals. When the young man greeted her father in the Ura's native language, her father flew into a fit of rage and threw them out. The young man never told her that the Ura's native language is not to be used by foreigners. To do so is a terrible insult. It was then that she decided to escape. The two of them could flee the city together and go to the Tassel terminals.
That city on a hill. Gonna build that city on a hill. Someday those tears are gonna spill. So big that
They would hide inside a garbage bin until it got ingested by a scumbag, then let him slosh on out of the city for disposal.
for two
But the authorities were already there when that scumbag sidled up to the city walls. Sent the authorities a tip. Told them her father was using her to sell secrets to the Tassel terminals.
One day that was gonna fall. Don't build that city on a hill. That city on a hill. Someday those tears are gonna spill. So build that wall and build it strong.
She and her father were arrested for treason, but her father got a deal. Return to work for the Mansers, and she'd go free. Before they parted ways for the last time, her father whispered a desperate plea. Hurry home to the den and lock yourself in. She was told, and deep down underground inside that den, she found a journal written in her father's hand. Den turned to ash. The girl came up for air, and she saw the calamity all around her. When the kid wakes up, his world's still in pieces, just the way he left it. We spotted a pecker carrying a shard to Mount Zan. Welcome to Grady Incinerator, home of the hottest wings east of Caelandia. In all seriousness, the incinerator was a dump, and it had a problem with peckers. Blasted things would swoop in and spread trash all around, until we started using fire. We couldn't just torch them all at once. We had to use restraint. For all that trash. You'd almost think those peckers like getting cooked. Can't rightly call Mount Zan the mountain anymore. There's no more mountains now. There's no place left for the beasts of the wild to go. Good thing for those beasts the Calamity saved leftovers. We only found their little lair because they found themselves a little shard. It's a delicate situation. The creatures of the wild, they've been building a bastion of their own. But they ain't yet prepared for any company. Best thing we can do for those beasts right now is put them down quick and clean. There's only one kind of mercy left these days. at it this way. It's either them or us. But if we win, they win too. Our Bastion is everybody's game, not just ours. Unfortunately, there's no explaining that to a simple beast. Those beasts have been hard at work fixing up the place. Takes a lot of convincing, and our mortars have to do the talking. They've rounded up their survivors, just like we have. What the city left behind, those beasts took for themselves. They've been searching for cores and shards, just like we have. Maybe they've thought about turning back, just like we have. just really need their shard. Kid got it fair and square. That's the way. He's done what's best for him, don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll all be better off once the Bastion is complete. The monument's getting better. Zolf sure did a number on it, though. The memorial may be finished, but our part is far from over. The culture, a still life of old unwanted keepsakes. The triggers, my brothers, bravest men I ever knew. Fixed that thing right up, didn't we? Made these goings-on a little livelier. Suppose it's true a little song can put things in perspective. Machete and carbine still go well together, just like in war. Even the army never issued carbines in such fine shape. A solid frame can put an extra sting in every slice.